Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tracy with JDL Threads. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. If you're new, thanks for joining me for the first time. If you're returning, thanks for joining me again, everybody. So what we're going to do today is, okay, you guys remember this shirt that I did embroider out, the God Don't Play About Me shirt. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get on that rhinestone, scatter rhinestone trend, and we're going to go ahead and put in the rhinestones right around that design. So what you see here is I've just gone ahead and cut out my design on my flock and added it onto my little Dollar Tree cutting mat here. I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to scatter my rhinestones with all different colors instead of just using one colors, because y'all know sometimes I'm just a little extra and I like to be me. So we're going to use a little blue. We're going to use a little emerald green. I'm going to use a little citrine. And then I'm also going to use a sapphire blue, and we're just going to scatter them all around and see what kind of effect we come up with, because that's just what I like to do, y'all. All right, so without further ado, let's head on over to the craft table. Let's get this thing all rhinestoned out. We're also going to need our brush. I'm going to be using my rhinestone pen and my little cookie tool to gather up some of my extra rhinestones that I want to put back, if I can see which bag they go in. Otherwise, we're just going to push them to the side and use them for another rainbow scatter rhyme effect design that I might do in the future. All right, so let's head on over to the table, you guys, and let's get this stoned out so we can get it pressed out on the shirt and see how fabulous it looks. And remember, like, share, and subscribe for me, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, y'all, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start here with these little, it says tanzanite, and these are some little extra stones that I had off some other projects. But again, I'm just going to scatter in different colors, so I'm going to start with those, putting them in so we can get all those in there, and I'm just going to brush those in really quickly so I know that I don't want to take those out, because those go in one of these packs, and yeah, not gonna look for which pack goes into what. So it looks like we got a few oranges in here, some purples, and we're just gonna put them all in the holes and get them situated here, right? That's what I'm gonna do. This one is not looking like it's wanting to cooperate. Okay, now there we go. It just pulled apart, so that looks fine. All right. So then my next color of choice, I guess I'll take some greens or the emeralds and put them at the top. Let me just cut this bag because it looks like it's a new bag here. Emerald, you guys see that? The emeralds. I'm going to put those around the top where it's going to go around the golds. Heck, we'll just sprinkle a little bit everywhere. Why not? Why not? Sprinkle those in and see where they land. Now the thing with doing the rhinestone templates, again, when you're starting off with your embroidery design, whatever size that is, you want to make sure that you bring that exact size file, height and width, into your rhinestone software, because you're going to work your stones around that number that you embroidered out. Just like if it was SVG, the same rules apply. You got to start with that first so that you make sure that everything comes out correct. Because if you don't start off with that right correct size, then guess what? Your stones are not going to fit around your design right, and just not going to be a good thing, right? Just not. So you want to make sure if your design is a 5 by 5, you make sure when it comes into your rhinestone software that it's a 5 by 5, because you're going to work your stones around that number. Okay. And this tutorial isn't really to show you guys how it was done using the different offset methods. Maybe I'll do another smaller design to show you guys how to do that. This one is just to show you how I'm going to put the stones in and the effect that it's going to give right around the rhinestone design. Okay, that looks good. Oh, looks like I have one here that didn't get popped out. One of my circles. So let me pop that one out. Or maybe it looks like that one doesn't want to come out. Okay, so I got to remember to put a stone there, you guys. Then you want to just make sure all your stones are going to be flat. And you don't have none sitting on top of each other and nothing is upside down. You want to make sure everything is good. So now I'm going to put in some citrines or yellow. And I want most of those at the bottom. That looks good. Let's put this one back in there. All right. And let's work those in now. Got a few at the top too. That's okay. We're going to mix and match them up today, everybody. Got a little extra dot right there. Let's get that off. And basically all I'm going to do is just keep brushing in my stones until all my circles are filled up. And you could just really go in and set up the template where you have like the different colors in the software when you first do the template. But I'm just going to scatter them all like this way, because either way it doesn't matter as long as you're getting the effect that you want. This way will mostly be a unique design to all of the templates that you do, because everyone is going to look different versus if you set it up the other way. And let's say you set it up in the software and you put in the scatter dots to be this color, and you do that color on one piece of flock, and then you do the next color on another piece of flock. This way we're just going to work them all in and just see what I come up with, y'all. That's what I'm doing today. All right, so that looks good. So now let's see, what color don't I have? I got the blues, I got the greens, I got some yellows. Oh, I think here's a few purples in here that I had. Let's go ahead and just use up some of these more purples. Not sure what color this one is because the name isn't in there, but it looks like my favorite color, purple. So we're going to go ahead and add more of those in at the top. and see what happens. I think I'm going to add in a few more greens at this top and on the side here. Okay, and I'm just going to keep on adding until I get all of my circles filled in. And then any extra holes that don't have a stone, then I'm just going to take my rhinestone pen here and I'm just going to fill in the colors randomly to, you know, just wherever I want to get a different color in there with the pen versus trying to keep spreading them all in with this brush. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So basically I would just take my pen and I'm just going to fill in the holes randomly like that for the ones that don't have a rhinestone. Again, making sure that everything is on the right side and we don't have any rhinestones sitting on top of each other. Right? So I'm going to continue to fill this in, you guys, and I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like once I'm all done. All right, everybody, so I'm down to like my last few stones that I gotta put in, and just to make it more easier for myself, I'm just gonna take some out of this bag and scatter a little bit more of the purple ones down at the bottom so we get a nice little mix down here. And I'm just gonna, as you can see, just take my rhinestone pen and just add them into these last few holes down here for the purple ones. Like this. And I think it came out really, really cute. Again, you just want to kind of go over it, double check it to make sure you don't have any stones flipped upside down, or you don't want any stones sitting on top of each other. So make sure you're looking at all of that. All right, it looks like that's it, everybody. So we got to get our heat press warmed up. I like to get mine on 350, so I'm going to be warming that up right now, getting it up to 350. Then what we need to do is we need to, let me overlook it one more time to make sure I don't have any stones on top of each other, and that looks all good to me. So we're going to take the KTM mask now. This plastic guy, we're going to lay it on top so we can pick up all of our stones. So let me get everything out of the way. All right. And this one I think is still fairly sticky. So all I'm going to do is what I normally do. Just put it in the U shape like that, like so, U shape. And then I'm just going to lay it down and pick them all up. Okay, and I'm just going to give them a nice little rub so I can get them all hopefully picked up on the KTM mask. Whoops. Got one little straggler there. And one little straggler there. Just gonna press it down with my nail. Come on. Oh, that looks like an extra one, so I missed that one, you guys. It looks like he's sitting on top, this yellow one, so let me just pick that one out. There we go. Missed that one, and oh my goodness, I got like 2 turned over. How'd that happen? Okay, no biggie. We'll get those with the tweezers. And looks like I missed 1, 2. Now where'd they go? I don't know. But let's get this guy here. And looks like these 2 are the 2 that fell off here. So we're just gonna get my tweezers and pop those guys back in. And some of them look like they don't have no glue, but we'll get those in just a sec as well. So now with them upside down, let's see. I think one went right here. Let's see if I can't get this little piece of whatever that is on there off. All right, let's flip these 2 over. Okay, put that one back there. Get that guy. And put him back right there. All right, that looks good. And it looks like some of them don't have glue on there, you guys, so they probably are not going to stick. But what I'll do is once I give it that press, I'll go back and I'll fill those in if they do not stick on a design. All right, you see like this one doesn't have no glue in it, and I got a couple of them that just look like they don't have glue on the back. So we'll go ahead and fill those in later. All right, so let me push that guy over there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my plastic backing and show you guys what it looks like. And there you have it. Isn't it just beautiful? All right, so my heat press is warmed up. Let me get my shirt. And I'm just going to put a piece of parchment paper over on top of my embroidery because I want to give it a real good press before I get ready to put on my stones. All right, everybody, so there's my shirt. I got it up on top of my heat press. My heat press is warmed up to 350 degrees. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to like get my embroidery stitches smashed, I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper over my shirt, and I'm just going to give it a good press for about a good 10 seconds. Okay, that's good. I'm going to pull it out, and then I am going to take my rhinestone template, and we're going to go ahead and get this shirt all beautiful. All right, so we're just going to put the design right around our embroidery like so, and look how that just fit right in there. Beautiful. Let me just bring it up just a little. That one looks a little bit out of place. And let me just get my tweezers, y'all, because this one, it looks a little bit off down here. So I don't want to press those in there. I'm going to just take these couple off. Where is it? This one. And this one. All right, so that looks pretty good to me, everybody. So now I'm going to go ahead and just get it pressed in. And let's see how we did. And I'm going to press it for about 15 seconds. Here we go. Oh, let me push my platinum in. There we go. Okay, we're going to bring it out. And let's see how I did, everybody. Let's pull it back. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. And look at that. Looks like some got a little bit off on my O right there, but that's okay. Check it out. Looks really, really nice. All right, everybody, so here is the shirt, and look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It just turned out so amazing. I'm so happy and so pleased with the shirt. It's beautiful. Yes, and that's how we do a scatter rhinestone shirt. Looks really, really nice. Scatter rhinestone and embroidery. And scattering my own self, instead of putting it in a template and having to use 2-3 different sheets, you just scatter at will. And I think it came out really, really nice. Pops a lot of the colors that I like. You see the gold, you see the purple, you see some of the blues, you see the greens, and you see the yellows. Came out really, really nice. All right, everybody. So again, I'm Tracy with JDL Threads. I want to thank you guys for joining me today in today's video. Remember for me, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.